Okay, there we go.
Hi everyone, hopefully everyone can see me okay. We've just got a little echo, so we're gonna, oh no, we're back, we're good. All right, let's go. So you would have all got your packs yesterday, which if you haven't unpacked, if you just want to unpack and get everything sort of ready on the table, you would have got separate little bags of all bits and pieces. So I might actually just go through quickly what came in the bag to make sure that everyone's got everything, but I did triple check that we do. So to start off with, you should have your twig wreath. That's obviously our main thing that we've got. You would have just got a big bundle of eucalyptus leaves. And then you would have got a couple of the red leukodendrums, which I was hoping to get green, but I couldn't this week. So we're going to go with red. And then some nuts, 3 nuts. And these little mini cute pine cones, one of those. And then you would have got some of these straw flowers, which are quite fresh, but they will dry and they actually keep their colour. So that's a straw flower. You might have got 3 or 4, maybe 5, just a handful of those. And then you would have had some dried hydrated oranges, 2, and then 2 of the limes. I have 1, so I need to get another one. Those, they smell really good. You can eat these, but we'll save them for our wreaths. Then we would have cinnamon stick, 1 of those. And you'll get a little bundle of this twine, which has wire inside. This is going to be predominantly our main thing we're going to use tonight. Little bit of floristry tape as well, which is just a stretchy, sticky tape. So when you pull on it, it does actually stretch out. And last of all, you'll have some wires, just a handful, and there's a couple of cable ties. Now, you're probably looking at cable ties, that's really weird. Some people might struggle with the wiring, and if it gets a little bit hard and you're not really happy using the wire, you can go and use your twine, or we can cheat and use some cable ties as well, because they're nice and easy. You just poke it through and pull it, and that will attach what you need as well. Now, the only thing you got, we will, little peacock feather. I did put in these couple of extras that you can add in the end if you want to. It's optional. But everyone's going to need a pair of scissors. So I'll give you a minute for everyone to go get a pair of scissors. I probably should have a little note in there to say grab some scissors. So I'll give you a minute to make sure we've all got scissors, and then we're ready to go. Actually, you would have got a little bit of these dried flowers as well, which is a little bit of fern and sea holly. So everything's real in our wreath that we're using, but they're just dried and then with a bit of colour, just in case you like a bit of colour. Alrighty, I think we're ready to go. I'm just going to grab another line. You ladies got everything? We're all ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to start off with the wreath, maybe we'll cut our tag off. That's probably not a good look. Let's cut our tag off. So we're going to start off with our base, which is the eucalyptus leaves. Now, everything on this wreath will dry and you can keep forever, which is good. I was going to try and use some pine and some other foliage, but it will just drop and make a mess. So we're going to opt for this idea. So you've got some big pieces and there might be some little pieces. So what we're going to do, and everybody's wreath is going to look different. And that's what I love about doing a workshop, because at the end of it, even though I'm showing you how to do it, they're not all going to look the same. So everyone's creativity is a little bit more. You can use less foliage or more, depending what you like. So to start off with, this is obviously a really big piece. You might want a really big piece on there, and that's fine. I'm going to cut some smaller pieces, and I'm going to start with that to start off with. So just with your scissors, we're just cutting off some smaller pieces. Sometimes it's easier just to strip the bottom 2 leaves off, so you've got a little bit of a stem to poke into the side. How are we all going so far? All good so far? Alrighty. So really you can start anywhere on the wreath. So you'll see on the wreath there's little rings that are already on there, which that's making your job a little bit easier, because with this we're just going to poke in into the side of the wreath. So anywhere there's a circle, you can just add your first piece of foliage and just poke that in. So it's a fair way in, so it's nice and solid, and that will give you your first piece on your wreath. Yeah, how are we going? That one, that's pretty simple. We can all do that, I think. How are we going? I'm watching the two girls here, they're doing it as well, so I'm making sure they look like they're doing a good job. And again, if you want to keep a big piece, you can keep it big. Now, you can follow the wreath around and just keep going around the one way, or the other way, you can actually come in from the other side. So you can have leaves going that way and then leaves going that way. So it's just totally up to you what you prefer. Today I did one of each way, but I think I'm going to follow it round. So I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. So we've got two small pieces. Actually, no, I'm changing my mind. I'm going back to this way. So again, you can put it in the same little piece there. So the little rings that we've got around there, you just poke it back in the same one. I think would be better because you're getting them nice and tight. And that's the sort of look we've got going on so far. Now, again, you can keep adding some foliage down so you can get it a little bit longer. And if any ones that are sticking up too high later, we can cut those with scissors. Lots of laughing going on over there. Just keep an eye on those two. So, yeah, depending what you want to do. So we can just keep adding. I think I'm going to go, first I'm going to go with two pieces. The girls have got some really good ones going over there. How are you guys going there? Are they going in okay? We're all good. Hey, that one's not bad. Good work, Jenny. You've done this before, Jenny. Look at it. Hey, well, that looks really good. You don't want to know what's going on here. That looks good. And this is the thing, everyone's is going to be different, so I love it. So you can just keep building. We'll give you 5 minutes to just have a play. So you can keep going around the circle and adding a bit more. You've got a bit of foliage that you can do that. Or I'm just working with the same piece. I'll put those two bits in. I'm just going to add another piece in there, a little bit more thickness. So you can see you've got the stick sticking out like that. That's fine. That'll all get covered later. But so depending how you want to hang it on the door too, you might want to hang it up that way. I think I'm going to go with that way. I'm going to build everything on the bottom. Some people like it a bit off to the side. Another thing is you can put it as a table arrangement and put a big candle or something in the middle. So we can versatile. So if you want to have it on the table, you could probably add some more foliage, maybe fresh foliage on Christmas Day. But anyway, I'm probably chopping away there, but that's where we're at so far. How are we going? Everyone lift theirs up so I can have a little sticky. Oh, looking good. Marty's is good. All right. And if we want to, we can add a little bit more. Maybe I'm going to come in up behind this leaf and I'm just going to tuck another piece in there to make it a little bit longer. Probably just the second ring along. Just shove it in there a fair way so it doesn't, you don't want to fall. If you end up breaking it like I just did, just cut that little bit off. I'm going to re-shove it in there again. That's what mine looks like at the moment. See that? Now, once you've done that and you feel comfortable that you've got enough foliage, what we can do is grab our twine, which we've got a little piece there, and maybe grab, I don't know, maybe 20 centimetres, nice long piece. Once you finish your foliage, no pressure, take your time. And then if you want to, just for extra support, we can just wrap that around our twigs that we've just put on there, just for extra, and then just tie it in a knot. I'll do a double knot. That's just with the twine wire. You can just leave that sticking out. So it just gives us a little bit of, so those, they don't fall out, which I don't think they will either way, but just a little bit of extra. And just keep that bit of long bit of twine hanging there. I've got some cool snowmen in the background there. I've just noticed on the board. Cool. 30, is it 30 days till Christmas? Isn't that scary? No. All righty. How are we going over there, girls? Oh, we send you up to speed. Everyone else is good with the foliage. Catrice, nice. I'm just going to wait till everyone's done their foliage. And hopefully if you can hear me, Emma, I can't see you, but hopefully you're going all right at home and everything's working all right, because I can't see you on the vision, but hopefully you're going okay. Does anyone have any questions so far, or you're all good? Oh, there's chat. We've got one little message. Let's see who wants to have a chat.
I think it was from before.
Oh, it was before.
I was feeding her baby.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, done. All right, so Emma's got a little baby, has she? Alrighty, so once we've done our foliage, we're going to go across and we're going to use our leukodendrums. So you should have 2 of these guys. They're pretty durable again. So we're going to just put these in the same way we did with the foliage. So again, you can keep them quite long. You can, if they're too long, you could probably just cut a little bit off. You probably only needed about 6 or 7 centimetres long. And then we're going to place them into, again, find one of these little circles, little rings that are all the way around, and we're going to pop them into one of those. Shove it in hard enough, you'll be able to get it in there without even wiring it. Just like that. And that's just shoved in there, but they're pretty firm. So we've got 2 of these. So again, just strip that make sure there's no foliage on the bottom, because that will slip into that wreath a little bit easier with just the stem, like what we did with the foliage. Now with these guys, we can have one either way. We can have them going that way. So it's totally up to you how you want to run it. You can even put one up here, a little bit further up the top of the leaves. I'm going to go with 2 in the middle, 1 either side, because keeping in mind we've got the gum nuts and some other things. So I'm going to poke that in the opposite side. 1 facing left and 1 facing right. So one's facing that way and one's facing that way. And we can add some more foliage in at the end, guys. If you're a bit like me, I'm a Virgo and I like things even. So I'll end up poking some more on that side because that side's got more, but we can do that later. But they really should be more of a messy look. All right, so we've got our leukodendrums in. Beautiful. Now, if you want to, again, it's probably not going to hurt. So grab your twine again, maybe about 20 centimetres, and let's just pop them around again and tie a knot, just so our leukodendrums are secured a little bit tighter. If you do put it on your front door and we get winds like we've been getting lately, a bit crazy. So again, I've just tied that in a double knot with the twine, and I've just left that. I've got little bits of twine sticks poking up like that, but we might take advantage, use those soon. So yeah, good work. All righty, so we've got our gum, we've got our 2 leukodendrums, they're done so far. So next we're going to go with, what will we go with next? Let's go with our gum nuts. All right, so we're getting tricky now. I'm going to make you do some real work here. So we've got 3 gum nuts. You might have more, but we'll start with 3. They should be all joined. If they're not, just put them in a little cluster and join them all together. I'm pretty sure, hopefully there's no little spiders hiding in there. I did clean them all out. I do like to climb out sometimes. But anyway, so 3 of these. So this is where we get a piece of wire with that 3 gum nuts. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it around the back. So like a loop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're looping all of them together and just twist the wire. You got like a little twist and just run it down the stem, so that will hold your gum nuts together. So sometimes you can wrap it around twice, but then you'll have both the sticks down the stem. Tricky, that one. So once you've got that, we're going to pop that down, and then we're going to grab our floristry tape. Maybe again, about 20 centimetres long. And then we're going to tape around the wire down the stem just to hold that wire. So we've got something to build it to. So if you can put your finger, wrap a little piece around and hold it with that finger, and then we're going to wrap. But when you're wrapping, just pull it a little bit. So when you pull it, it stretches out quite clear, and that will just hold on to it a little bit better. So just a little pull, wrap, little pull. Now, if it breaks like this, sometimes you might be a bit hard, that's fine. So just again, pop it back on, hold it with your finger and start again. So we're just pretty much wrapping the base of the gum nuts. Is everyone going all right with that? And then we just wrap it down to there. You can just pull it off. How did you guys go with that? Was that easy enough? Yep. All righty. So now we're placing the gum nuts. We're going to attach them to here. So again, depending where you want to put them, I'm going a bit centered. I'm thinking maybe in the middle. So again, using a little loop that we've got there, we're going to tuck that wire through one of those loops and just feed it through as much as you can. Because we've got the wire, we can bend it and twist it to where we want it. I'm thinking maybe just like that. Can everyone see that okay? Once you've poked it in to where you want to put it, we'll have the wire sticking out the back where we poked it in, and with that wire, we can just shove it back into the frame, just poke it back in there so it's not sticking out to poke anyone. Looking good, Catrice. Alrighty, and don't forget to poke that wire in at the back. So just bend it and just poke it back into the frame of that. Right. Any questions? Are we going all right? We're good. Good. Well, it's looking good, Melissa. You guys are killing it. All righty. Are we ready for the next stage? Just give me a thumbs up or give me a hand if you just need another minute. Clearly, I've done this before, so I'm going to be a little bit quicker. And if you want to at this stage, if you feel anything's too loose, and like at the moment, I can give that a good shake, that's not going anywhere. You can always just tie a little bit more of this around and just tie it in a knot again if you need a bit of extra tightness. And same with these leaves. If you don't like them hanging out the side and you prefer them to trail up more, you could put a little bit of wire around some of those. Like you could actually make like a pin. You could bend it into a little pin shape, and you could shove it through the leaves and then up through there if you wanted to build your leaves up a bit. I don't mind a bit of a hang. Good. There you go. Oh wow, that's perfect. You need to show everyone that. So the difference between mine, have a look at that. So you can put as much foliage as you want in there. That actually looks like something from David Jones. She's showing me up. Do you want to take over?
One like a 5-year-old.
That's a bit fancy. All righty. So we've got our gum, we've got our nuts, and we've got our leukodendrums. So our next thing that we're going to put on are our really cool straw flowers, which I was trying to get red and I couldn't get red, but orange I think is pretty cool too. These can be sprayed too. So if you've got a theme this year and you're going, my girlfriend told me yesterday she's going black and silver. Black's the new colour for Christmas this year. You could spray these if you wanted to with a little bit of spray, if you want to theme it in the colours. So maybe let's start with our biggest flower that we have. And you should have anywhere between 3 and 5 in your little kit there. And we're going to go with a wire again. So this is how I do buttonholes for weddings. It's a similar sort of thing. So we're going to get the wire and we're going to shove it through the very top of the flower. So not just the stem. If you can come in a little bit higher and just shove it through, right through the middle. So it's going through the stem and a little bit up through the base. About halfway through, so it's like in the middle of the wire. And that should be stuck on there quite good. And then as you hold the flower with your 2 fingers, just bend the wire down. So again, like the gum nuts, it's down the middle of the flower. There you go. If you want to do a buttonhole one day, this is how you do buttonholes. So once you've got that wire in place, we're going to grab some of our floristry tape. Again, about 20 centimetres. And we're going to start at the top and we're going to hold it with our finger or our thumb or both. Once you've got it hold, then you're going to start to wrap. Starting right to the top as high as you can go, because that's protecting our wire, because if this flower breaks, the wire will keep it in place. And then we just roll, turn the flower and roll, and just feed the tape down. It's a bit tricky. Some people can do this, some people can't. You can just use the wire if it's getting a little bit tricky for you. And then you're just pulling that off like that. So then we have our flower with our tape. And that's how you wire a flower. Look at you guys, too easy. So that's how you do your flower. All right, so then we're going to do, let's do 3 of these. So while we're on a roll, because I was going to do one at a time, but we might just do all 3 flowers wide. So just pick another flower. Again, coming up through the head of the flower, right in the middle. Just pushing it up halfway. And then hold your flower and bend it down. Straight again. I'm going to get tape that we used before. If you've got a bit left over, that's fine. I'll cut some more. And we're going to hold it right up the top, right at the base. And we're going to start twirling it. And you can pull it a little bit as you're twirling, because that will make it stick better, because it's thinner. So you're pulling and rolling. And you can go right to the bottom. You can go halfway, whatever you prefer. And there's our next flower. And try and go with some different sizes if you've got different sizes. That's 2. Yeah. And then I've got a nice little one that's quite closed. That will look cute. And we're going to put that through the head again.
I think Crystal's got a question.
Crystal, yes.
I've got one that's got more than one flower.
Oh, yes. So you got a little bonus. Yeah, so you got a little baby under there. So that's fine. Still keep doing what you're doing. So put the wire through and fold it down. If it breaks off, it breaks off. If not, just keep that little one off to the side. And hopefully he'll just hang on.
I just had trouble wrapping it around, but I've figured it out.
You might be in the road. If it is, you can just break it off. There wasn't too many of those that had little babies under there, but if it's a bit annoying, pull it off. Otherwise, try and work around it, because that would look cute just up under the flower.
Thank you. Has anyone broken a flower yet? Put your hand up, or we doing okay? Doesn't look like, geez, everyone's doing really well. Normally I'm really rough, and when I first started, I was breaking lots of flowers, so that's good. So yeah, when you do a buttonhole, you just do the same thing and we wire the leaf like that, and then you put the buttonhole up against the leaf, which is pretty cool. You just learn how to make a buttonhole as well. That's your 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. If you want to do 5, you can add more. I think I've put a few extras in everyone's bags, but once we've got our 3 wires, seem to be ready to go. So we're going to start with the big one first. So we can bend the wire to how we want it to sit in. So I would probably maybe bend it on a bit of an angle. I think that will the way we're going to pop it in. And I'm thinking under the gum nuts here, just at the base of the leukodendrum. So see if you can, and again, you should be able to use the same circle that's already there, the little piece there, and just tuck it into there. That's why I went with these wreaths, because they're nice and easy, because you've got those little bits to work with that you can shove things into. Otherwise, there's so much more wiring. It's so much more hard work. So just push it in, holding the base of the flower when you're feeding it through, and then you can just gently position it where you want to put it. And that's it. And you'll have the wire again sticking out, possibly under the leaves. Mine's disappeared. If your wire is sticking out from your flower, again, just fold it and tuck it back into the wreath itself. So again, you've got no sharp bits. That's where we're at so far. I'm going to do that with all 3 flowers, depending. So I always go then the next size and then your smallest one. So again, you can come up here at the top. You could do a little cluster up here if you want to do something different. I'm just going to sort of do them all at the base, I've decided. So I'll go in with my next one. So just feeding it in with the base of the flower so we don't break it. And sort of having that bit of wire sticking out. So we're going to bend that and poke it back into the wreath. And that's out of the way. And you've got 2 flowers. And again, we can just manipulate those flowers at the end very carefully. So we're going now. Things will move as you go, but then right at the end, we can just do a little tweak and move them or slightly pull them into position. There you go. Is that a bit tricky putting the flowers in?
Yeah.
So try not to, with the flowers, I've noticed when you're pushing them in, try not to push it all through the wreath, because that's going to be hard to get through all those twigs and twine. So just try and use the little loop pieces and just put it under there more than trying to go into the wreath, because that's going to be really hard. I'm going to put all 3 flowers. Teresa's laughing. I think she's breaking flowers. And then we're going to go with our 3rd flower. So my 3rd flower, I'm going to come across this way now. Opposite way. We have a broken flower. So again, that's why I have spares. So if you do break them, Teresa's getting a bit rough, we can do another flower when you break them.
Yeah. Just make it all more.
That's where I'm at the minute. I should have Christmas music going, shouldn't I?
Think of that.
Yeah, we're going to have some jingle bells or something going. Nah, it's probably too early. And then when you finish your flowers, hold them up so I can have a little sticky. Oh, yummy. I love it. It's really good. Completely different what's happening in this workshop here. We've got chalk and cheese across the road there. So this is what I love. So this is where you can create and do what you want to do. So once we have our 3 flowers in there,
we can go to, well, and as I said, you might have leftover flowers and if you want to add some in later, but you can see how that would make a really nice centerpiece for your table. And then tomorrow, as I said, if you want to add more, or just on the day of Christmas Day, if you just got some beautiful fresh gum, just raid the gardens, or, you know, where I live in Amesbury on the golf course, there's plenty of that. So you can just walk along and trim more nuts and foliage. You can even, in Kmart, they have the beautiful little lights. You could wrap that around and have some nice little lights going on. All righty, so next, what are we going to do now? I'm thinking, let's go with this little guy, little pine cone, which when I brought these at my suppliers the other day, he charged me $11 each. And I don't normally check my invoices, which is really bad. And then I went, oh, $11 for a little pine cone. And then he went, oh, no, I charged you wrong. And I said, oh, I was going to say, because I'll bring them back. It's an expensive pine cone. All right, so we want to probably get, 25, 30 centimetres again of our wire, the twine wire. And we're going to tip our little fella upside down. And then we're just going to try and push the wire into the base and just wind it around. I'm going to try and hide it so you don't see the wire. So you come back around. Doesn't matter whether it's in the middle or at the base, you don't actually see the wire. So then you've got it like that. So it's fed through. It's hanging like that. And we're going to tie it in a knot. And that will go inside so you don't actually see the twine. There we go. We've got our pine cone ready. And again, you can add some more of these if you know somewhere that's got them on the ground somewhere. Where's a good place to get pine cones?
I don't know around here.
Pine cones. Rockbank, if you live in Rockbank.
Oh,
They
really?
do have some pine cone trees through there. And we're going to put our pine cone somewhere on here, depending where you want to go. So I'm just going to keep building in this little cluster. So I'm going to put it in next to my nuts and under the other side of this little leukodendrum there. So the best way to do this is we're going to split our wire in half, put it where you want to put it on the frame, and we're just going to tie it on. So wrap the string on that side, one on that side, and bring it around the back, and we're going to tie the pine cone on with one nice tight knot. I think I'm going to do a double for good luck. So again, we've tied that on. That's that little guy there. He looks cute on there. I like the pine cone. Little flowers. Got straw flower, our leukodendrums, a gum, little gum nuts, and our little cute little pine cone. Yeah, that looks really good. All right, so it looks like everyone's going all right with that. Yes. How are you going, Crystal? Oh, we're doing another flower. Done. Beautiful. And it's just good practice to wire. As I said, some break. Just it is a tricky thing to get going, but that's why I put a couple of spares in there. And the higher you go in the flower, the less likely, hopefully, it will break. So if you go too shallow into the flower, it can slip off. So it's good to go right in, especially when you're doing roses, go up a fair bit into the flower. All righty, so next we're going to go with cinnamon. Nice. It smells a bit woody. Oh yes, we've got some fun stuff going on over there with the cinnamon. That one's too big. Oh well, you can have a competition, see who can keep. We're all doing it now. Let's see if you can put it on your lip and hold it there. So smelling cinnamon now. So we're going to cut that in half.
or you could go threes if you want little pieces. So I'm going to cut it in half. I think 2 pieces, big, little, doesn't matter. So you've got 2 bits. Hopefully everyone's cut okay. Can you do it?
Oh,
And we're going to be using this twine again. Now, if anyone decides to make more of these or wants to add to theirs and they need some more stuff, feel free to give me a call. I'm always in the area, and if I can drop you a little bit more of something, or you just let me know. I've dropped a business card too in everyone's folder, so whenever you need anything, just say you're from the workshop. So yeah, probably just grab about 30 centimetres, a little bit longer, 30, 35 centimetres, cut a nice piece of your twine. And then we're going to grab our cinnamon sticks, and we're going to, so with your wire in the middle, are we ready to do our cinnamon yet? We should have done a little mini one for Jack. Jack could have done a little kids wreath. That could be our next one. We could do a little kids Christmas something, making snowmen. So halfway down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the wire around one side, and then the other side wrap around. We're going to double loop, and then we're going to go up through the middle from the top. There's no set way to do this. This is just one way I find. If you're going around and up through the middle and the top, it just holds it a lot tighter. And then we're gonna do a knot. No, I'm making this look really easy, but so you're sort of wrapping it like a present. Just move it back up to the middle. And if it's not tight enough, just get your pieces and just do a bit of a spin. And that will tighten it even more. So that's better. Maybe give it a little spin at the end. And then that way you can keep them together, or if you want to slightly put them on a bit of an angle, you can. That little bit through the middle. And then we've got our strings, and there's our cinnamon ready to attach. Where we're going to, all right, so again, where we're going to put our cinnamon. I'm going to come in through the top, because don't forget we've got these guys to put on next, which are our little hydrated oranges and lemons, which I ate one today because apparently people buy. So this is a company I brought these from. Yeah, you can put them in drinks or Christmas for decorations. Like, so I do a lot of work with Grays with Michelle. She's out at Ainsbury. We, all us women, tend to support each other's businesses, and she cuts them in half and puts them in dips just for decoration. They look really good on grazing platters. So they come in an orange, and then there's a lime. So it's called I Am Thirsty. You can buy them online. I think that's another small business in Port Melbourne, but if you're wondering where I got those from. Alrighty, so our cinnamon sticks. So we're just going to find a spot where we want to put them. So I'm thinking maybe just up about there somewhere. So this is sort of one I can't really hold up and show you. So what we're going to do is put our wreath down on its belly, and we're just going to attach it to the back, again under some of these little circles we've got. And we're going to do a double knot. So it's just sitting in the back there. Now, if it's a bit tricky and it's not working for you, cable tie. These are where these come in really handy. So even though you've wired it on, you could get a little bit of a cable tie up through the back and just attach that, which is coming across a lot of these wires I've already got going on with all the other things that are attached. And then you could just put your cable tie on for extra support. Who doesn't love a good cable tie? Cable ties fix everything. Every woman should have cable ties in their kitchen drawer.
even if you've got naughty children, and you can attach them to the kitchen. No, you don't do that. No, Jack, we don't do that. And then we just cut off the little extra there, but that's just giving us that extra to hold all those wires together if all your wires are in the one place. But that will help secure those cinnamon sticks. How are we going? Oh, good work, ladies. So we've got our cinnamon on there now. And again, if you want to move these around and want extra protection, we can put a little bit more of your floristry wire and wrap around if you want to get a bit more height, or depending where you want to move it. But the cable tie is pretty tight. You can see that there.
That's going in the background.
And again, you can just tuck up the leaves behind the cinnamon so they don't get covered. But that's where we're at so far. And again, the flowers are facing down a little bit because they keep moving every time I attach things. Don't stress too much about the flowers. We can just tweak those at the end. But as long as everything's attached and wired in, we can move those. But in saying that, if it's going on a table, they're probably perfect for you. Now, when these are all finished, I would love everyone to send me a picture. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, and it's Proud Designs _ on Instagram, or just Proud Designs on Facebook, and inbox me a picture of your wreaths. I'd really love to see that. Alrighty, so we've got everything on so far. It's getting a little bit heavy now, which is good. No one's stressed. Is everyone relaxed? It's supposed to be therapeutic. Some people are going, oh, why do you do this for a job? Yeah. Alrighty, so once we're at that stage, if anything feels like if you're shaking and anything's moving, then you might want to just attach a couple of wires now. So again, keeping in mind you've got your wires, you could bend them down into a U shape and you could put them into whatever you think's moving too much and just poke it over the side. Once it goes through, just push it back into the frame, or cut it shorter and just poke them in. So if you need the extra tie down, they're good for that. Or later on when we finish, you can go cutting off a few more pieces of your twine and wrapping it around for extra secureness of your wreath. Alrighty, so what have we got now? These guys, oranges, they smell really good.
Yeah, they do.
So I think we'll start off. So again, we're going to use our, we're going to go wires. Are we going to go? Yeah, we're going to go wires. All right, so I'm thinking if you just do like a little U shape, so just in half, do the little U, a bit like wiring your flowers really. And we're going to shove that in the middle or just under. So we've got that sort of a look. And then we're going to pinch it at the top so it's nice and tight. That's our orange. So then we're going to come across and get some floristry tape, a little bit, 20 centimetres, whatever you want to cut off. I can work with a little bit because I've worked out how to stretch and roll, but for you newbies, it might be a bit hard. So again, just like the flower, holding it right at the top, and we're just holding it there, and we're twisting and rolling as high up as we can go, and then just slowly moving down as we're twirling. And the heat of your hands should be rolling the tape nice and sticky. If you find that the tape's rolling off, it's just because your hands might be a bit cold and it's not quite sticking, but just run your finger up like that and twist all the way. And we should get that. We're going to do that with both oranges and both limes. The best way is probably to do your pin first, because I just did it, just putting it in. It's just with a little bit of the lime, which is okay because you will hide that with the other ones. But yeah, so do your pin shape first and then feed that through. There we go. They're a bit trickier to do because they're moving around, but it doesn't matter if it's too loose. They are really hard to do. And try and run the tape maybe all the way to the bottom of that one, because when you're trying to shove it into the twine, sometimes because there's two pieces, it can get stuck. So it's probably not going to hurt to go all the way to the bottom. So it gives us a nice clean, just single poke. We should have 2 done. If you're going all right, Crystal's smashing it. So it doesn't matter if you go in the middle or right at the bottom. I find the middle's a little bit easier, so it's not moving around a bit. I don't know if you've noticed that. I probably should have mentioned that. I hope no one's allergic to oranges. I didn't even think of that. I have a girlfriend that's allergic to oranges, so if she touched this, she'd blow up in a big ball. It's probably not good. I'm just twisting, twirling, twirling, and go right to the bottom. Like your last, so we should have 4. If you want to put 3, that's fine. If you want to put 1 of each, that's fine. It's totally up to you. It's good practice just to wire them all anyway. Where are we going for time? 6:49. Geez, girls, we're killing it. Time to pour a glass of wine, I think. Do you have wine at cancel in the fridge? Probably not. All righty. So we should have this sort of a look. If we're all finished. How are you guys going? Is it easier or is it a bit tricky? Oh, yeah, going all right. Oh, look, Crystal. Go, Crystal. Yeah, he's ready to go. How are you going, Marty? Yeah, beautiful. All righty. So we're going to attach these now. So again, just where you want to, you can put them anywhere you like. So Patrice has got a thing going on. She's got a few things in other spots. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, a little cluster up there. I'm going to be a bit boring and I'm just going to keep going with my little thing. So again, I'm just wedging it in the front. So not through the middle of here because you'll probably get stuck, but just picking up the front. So the thin part of the front of the wreath. And just stick it into the height that you want to put it. I'm thinking about there. How cool does that look? They look good, don't they? Can you see that? Okay. There. And that sits up quite nice with the wire. So you've just got the wire hanging out. That's fine. We'll poke all those in later. Or if you're lucky enough and you can see your wire on the other side, so there's my wire from my orange. I'm going to pull it around the back. And I'm going to shove it back into the wreath. So again, no pointy bits. And that keeps that orange in the place. Okay, just be a bit delicate with it. And that's it. Looking good, ladies. Now again, don't forget we've got cable ties. So you've got a couple there if you feel you need to, even at the end, if you want to do a little bit extra to secure it. So I'm going to put my next orange in. Do you need another line?
No, I've got one.
Oh, you got one?
I didn't realise.
Hiding. And really in floristry, you should have three of things, not 2, but it's sort of been out of whack today. All right, so I'm just going to shove that one in close to the other one. I'm just feeding it right from the top. We don't break it, just very delicately we put it in there. Again, it might move around a little bit, so just push it down as low as you can. In the back, our little wire, we're just going to bend it up and poke it back into the wreath. You're getting that smell of the citrus and the cinnamon and gum leaves. Sometimes they'll sit perfectly and sometimes they're not going to. So you just move it into place. And then we're going to do the same with our 2 limes to where you want to pop those. So I'm going to put one in front of the 2. And then it's just like that. Again, bringing that wire around and poking that back in there. How'd you guys go? Yes. Okay. So we've pretty much got everything. So whether you want to use the last one, you could put it in somewhere, maybe down here or up here. I'm probably just going to go with 3, I think. All right, so that's all done. So what have we got? Oh, look, I've got a piece coming out already. So we'll just shove that one back in there. So right at the end when you finish, if you feel you need to put a bit of twine around your leaves just again at the base, if ones came out, just to secure it a bit more. But that's sort of where we're at so far. So now's a good time if you want to put any more foliage in. So I'm thinking I need something through there. You can cut it to where you want to go. You can add a bit more up, a bit higher. I'm just going to give you a little option if you want a bit more foliage, or you guys have used it all because they were greedy at the start. So I'm just going to put another piece in mine. Again, just poking you in that front circle. I'm just going to put a little bit more twine around that last bit of foliage I've just added in. Come up under the leaves. All right, any questions? How are you all going? You guys are an easy group. So I've just added a little bit more foliage just up there. I think it needed a little bit more. So again, this is where you can just position your flowers up a little bit if you need to. So again, just softly bending those. Hopefully you don't break one. I'm going to add another one in. That's pretty much the basis of our little Christmas wreath. Hopefully everyone's happy with that. Alrighty, so I've put in a couple of extras if you want to add in there. So I have a little piece of dried holly, a little bit prickly, but that you could add in if you wanted to add something different. And then if you wanted a little bit of red, this is just dried sea holly, dried red, and a little bit of Ming fern. So if you wanted to, you could add, you can just poke these in, they're pretty easy, into little spots to where you want to add a little bit of red. Or you might go, well, look, I'm thinking I want to go more natural, and you don't have to add that in as well. But they're there if you want them to add a bit of red. And I did put one of these guys, because this is my little Proud Design signature thing. I just love peacock feathers at the moment. So this you can add, you don't need to add, but this looks quite cool if you want to add that somewhere in there. So again, this would just be poked in somewhere at the end. You might want to cut it a bit shorter. Some are a bit longer than others. But out at Amesbury, I think we have about 8 peacocks now. If you've never been out to Amesbury, you should come down. We've got a really nice homestead there that does breakfast, lunch and dinner. And all through December, they've got all Christmas activities. And we have about 8 peacocks that just roam around the homestead. And if you're lucky, they go in your backyard and they make a real big mess. So anyway, depending where you want to poke that in, that's not working for me because I'm trying to hold it, but you could just poke that in somewhere there. Did you guys use yours? Might have to cut it a little bit shorter, I think. They're a bit delicate because they seem to be breaking a little bit while I'm trying to put them in. So if you wanted to, you could probably just bend up the bottom so you've got double strength, and then maybe get a bit of twine. Maybe just wrap a bit of twine around the base. If yours might just slip in and you're lucky, mine's not. That just gives it a bit more base, something to stick to. Straight away, that's worked. So there's your peacock feather. How are we going? I think we're nearly done. So yeah, don't forget, if you want to add that sea holly in there, you can. I was going to say as well, as I said, even lights would look really cool. And these little guys, I got at Kmart at Wingo today. They've got cute little birds in all different colours. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, attach some little birds or little baubles, depending how fancy you want to get. I think there's a spot there I can put this little bird on. I love the little birds. You can add a little bird in there if you wanted to. You want to go birdless, but you can see my gist to how you can just add those, and they're like $1. So what we can do now is just come around the back of our, what are we making again? A Christmas wreath. It's been a big day. I had a lot of weddings on the weekend. And then we can just come along and just cut off any little bits that are hanging out, make it all nice and neat back there. And again, if you've got any leaves that you think, oh, I'd like that to be, if you're really fussy like me and you just want to stick those up there, which I'm going to show you an example because I'm going to do that for me now, is again just making another loop like that. And I'm going to stick it in this big leaf here. So you're pretty much sticking it in the middle of the leaf. Peacock feather's not going in. So again, just snap it in half. So bend it back up on itself. Yep, and then run a bit of twine around the base. That's what I had to do. So once you put, see, I've got the little wire in the leaf because I really want to bring that back up there because I'm being a fussy Virgo and I didn't like it sticking down there. So you can just do that with all your leaves to position them where you want. If you want them to run up a little bit further up there, so they're not sticking. So again, you're just doing a pin shape, and then we're going to put it through the middle of the leaf like that. Once you've pushed it through, come through the back, and then we can just add it to the side of our wreath. And then poke it. I'm going to put it down for a minute because I need a couple of hands for this one. Just poke it back in on itself. Popped out. So again, if anything's moving as you go, just get some more twine, wrap it around. And sometimes the more things you add, sometimes things will fall out. And then just run a few extra bits of wire, any cable ties you want to use, so you feel like they're all secure and they're not moving. This would make a really good gift too. So if you want some other packs and you want to make one for a friend, let me know. I'll do a little discounted price for you, and then if we film this video, you might be able to share it somehow. I haven't got that far yet, but that would be cool if you can have a copy of it. I think we're going to put it on YouTube possibly.
We'll
so
send everybody an email with the link.
there you go. Everyone will get the link for it. So that might be a good little gift. We all go, oh, it's Christmas time. What do we get our girlfriends? What's something different? This would make a really cool gift. You could gift them a wreath pack, and I could make it look a bit prettier in nice boxes, and you can put little bottles of red in there. Told you about alcohol again. That's what happens when you have 3 kids. So I'm just going to do one more pin, and there's another leaf that's annoying me, which I'm going to tuck up again. And if you're like me, the more you fiddle with it, the more you're going to start breaking, and it's going to. So try and have a bit more of a messier look, because it doesn't have to be perfect. But that's where we are. So now I've just stuck those leaves up there and a couple up there. It's made that a little bit more neat. So you can hang it on your drawer on the side. You can have it flat on the table. But that's it, girls. How are we all going? Looks like everyone's finished. I'm pretty happy with myself, actually. Pretty cool. So again, you might just have to move your fruit around if they've just moved, or add another little pin wire in there if you want to stick it up a little bit more. And then you've got your little sea holly you can add in as well if you want. Pack that in there. And like even Christmas Day, you could add bits of mint, fresh mint and rosemary, just to have that smell on the table as well. That'll look pretty cool. Yeah. Well, rosemary's encouraging apparently, or my backyard Amesbury. But that's about it. Are we all finished? How'd we go? Actually took a lot quicker than I expected. Oh, Marty's giving us a look. Oh, nice. I love it. Looks good. Crystal's done. Wow, that looks really good. I love how you've got the oranges up high. Wow, that looks really good. What I'll do is we might try and pull up the screen where I can see just all the girls holding up there. Might be able to do a gallery shot where we're all holding them up.
I'll just spotlight everyone.
Move spotlight. Oh, that's yours now, Catrice, over there.
That's all right. I'll go to the next person.
You can take a photo from that.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Sarah. Oh, wow. Look at that. Down the bottom. We see you now. I couldn't see you before. That looks great. Sarah, do you want a job? That's amazing. How'd you go, Melanie?
All right. Do you want to get everyone's put theirs up?
I love it. You've done the 2 pieces. Yep. And it's great how everyone's is so different. And Melissa, you've got your popper red in there. How'd you go, Jane? Have you finished? Oh, that's a nice big one. I like that. That's like Catrice's. I love how you've got the leaves going out. Please, everyone, send me a photo and either Insta or Facebook me. I would love to share that.
If everyone
Wow,
has these up,
Sarah,
we'll
that
get a
looks great.
photo.
Yeah, pop it up and we'll get a photo, a group photo. And then we've got, oh, can we see that? I'm holding it in the wrong. Oh, that's Carly's other iPhone.
Yeah, that's my iPhone.
So we just get one of Jane. Pop yours up. All right, we all up. There we go. Ready? Say cheese. Love it. That's good work, guys. Everyone deserves a clap. Well done. Woo! Jeez, that looks amazing. Right, Sarah, you killed that. You're making me look bad. And it's good how everyone's is different, completely different. So I love that. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for doing the workshop tonight, and lovely to meet you all. And I look forward to having a closer look at all your wreaths, and even on Christmas Day or when you start preparing, wherever you're going to hang it, please tag me and send me some more pics, and I'd love to see them all. And yeah, nice to meet you all. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good.